Hey, what's up, folks? It's Daniel here, and I wanted to talk to you about why or how I gain control over a compromised respiratory system. And I've told this story in some capacity before, but it becomes even more important in this time of coronavirus, COVID-19, and um, the threat that it holds against our respiratory, potentially even fatal. um, and it goes back to my diet. Started eating ketogenic diet, which is a high fat, low carb diet that allows you to get into a state of where you're burning more than normal ketones for your energy. And the reason I share this is because I do a lot of study online where I'm looking at different camps in terms of what your diet should be. One thing that I do know is that diet is essential. It's very vital, crucial, very important when it comes to our immune system and respiratory system. For me, that hits very close to home, the respiratory, because I have almost gone home to be with the Lord. When it comes to respiratory, had to be rushed to the hospital, had to be rushed home to take medication to open the breathing, open the lungs back up so that I could breathe again and live to tell the story another day. So this is very near and dear to my heart, very important. I don't take this lightly. I know what it's like. Some of my kids, except for my youngest, have respiratory issues as well, and I can tell what the symptoms are. I can just look at them and I can have compassion because I know what they're going through. Right, when they have a certain breathing pattern, or when they are looking for an inhaler or whatever, I know what they're going through. And so here at home, I'm always pushing for them, to improve their diet because it is the diet that gave me control over my respiratory system. It gave me that control back. I've been many years going to the doctor and finding ways to manage, the chronic disease of asthma and sinusitis. So I was on medications and just doing whatever I could to avoid certain places, certain pollen, certain pet dander, all those types of things, trying to manage. None of it worked without medication. And then I started a ketogenic diet. And 6 months into a ketogenic diet, I didn't need any medication, none whatsoever. No inhaler, no albuterol, no prednisone, none of that. And I had used them all. Right. So this is why I continue the keto diet, mainly the high fat part of that. Because what I found in the research was that the medicines that I was taking to control sinusitis, so that my sinuses didn't drain or drip to the point where it would cause asthmatic symptoms. The medicine was a synthetic glucocorticoid, which is a steroid that's made in our body, right? And so, as I did the research, I found out that the more fat that you eat, well, let me say it like this: that the real glucocorticoid that our body makes actually it comes downstream from fat that we eat. Right? Fat brings in cholesterol. Cholesterol turns into one of our sex hormones called progesterone, and progesterone eventually produces more and more of the glucocorticoid that my body needed to fight off those allergens naturally, so that I no longer had issues with sinus drainage and swelling and asthma. Literally, I no longer deal with that stuff. Right? So, and I hear both camps where folks are like, you need to be high carb, you need a lot of carbs in your diet. And I hear the folks on the keto side and the low carb side saying, hey, you don't need to do that. especially if you're diabetic, so on and so forth. Um, and I'm continuing my research, but I believe somewhere in the middle is where you don't need to be, where you're mixing fat and you're mixing carbs together, right? And I stay high fat because, again, I know that glucocorticoid, which is a natural steroid, I need it in my body, right? So before I worry about body composition, before I worry about metabolic syndrome, which is killing a lot of people, by the way, metabolic syndrome, which is, high blood pressure and heart disease and all those things. Before I worry about any of that, I need to be able to breathe, right? To be able to walk outside and be able to breathe. If I can't breathe, I can't get to the food. The food is not of importance to me. What I eat is not of importance if I cannot breathe. But what I found out is that what I eat is directly affecting my ability to breathe. So my message in this time, coronavirus, COVID-19 spreading throughout the world, is to keep your immune system well and to find those foods that give you the right things that you need in your body, whether that be the natural steroids, or something else, right? I was surviving by a synthetic steroid, Flonase and Nasacort. Those are synthetic glucocorticoids, and so that's how I was surviving. Um, but in taking those, um, they actually would create another thing in me that will actually kill you as well. UTIs, right? Urinary tract infections, if gone untreated, will kill you. So I was dealing with just a whole host of things, that viruses or bacterias that would kill me, right? And going keto has rid me of those potential threats. So that is why I do, continue to do the keto diet, and that's how I gained control over my respiratory system. I got my life back. I got the control back over my respiratory system, no longer having to manage it with medication, only just eating the right thing. So your diet is very, very, very important when it comes to fighting any infectious disease, fighting chronic inflammation, and things like that. And hey, if high carb works for you and that allows you to fight those things and keep them out of your body and give you control back, do that. If high fat causes those things to stay at bay, then do that, right? And that's what I do, and that's just what I wanted to share with you guys today in the midst of this coronavirus, COVID-19. So if you are having those types of issues, asthma, sinusitis, I encourage you to take a look at my YouTube channel, my IG, to kind of see the types of things that I've done to be able to overcome those issues. All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.